In other news, this is regarding Marina Beach as a froth, toxic polluted froth that continues to accumulate at the famous Marina Beach of Chennai. This is toxic white foam that has been sent out to the beach. The past 4 days that this is now being observed, experts here still believe they're testing what this exactly is, but they believe that this is a result of water which is draining from the Ardea River, which is drained out from the tributary there into the Bay of Bengal. This contains chemical waste. It is mixing with the seawater. But this isn't the first time that we've seen this. This was observed earlier as well. This was witnessed earlier as well in the month of October this year.
It's been 4 days and the situation has turned from bad to worse. As you could see here, this is the fort that has been created or formed near the Patnambakam beach at Marina, and so far no explanation has been given as to why it has occurred. But if you actually look into the ground, you could see a lot of wastage that has been thrown into the sea by the Ardea River. It seems like every rain, this Ardea River actually brings out these chemicals and a lot of waste, and it is dumped into the sea, and this time also such chemicals has reacted with the seawater, creating this foam. Such kind of foam was observed in Coimbatore. It was even observed in Yamuna River. But even now, no explanation has been given by the authorities, though the sample was collected back in Friday itself. A lot of questions are being asked by the people from this area, especially the fishermen folks, but no explanation has been provided so far, and they are cautioning not to touch this foam because it definitely could be toxic.
As our correspondent Pramod was getting us those details here, that this is something that has taken place earlier in the month of October as well, but there has been no further investigation, no further testing of water on why this is happening. There is only a sense, which is still not confirmed, that this is because water which is released from the estuary of the Ardea River into the sea of Bay of Bengal, which is why you have polluted, toxic foam being dumped on the Marina Beach, which is flowing in from the Bay of Bengal. This is toxic foam that is being dumped from the waves from the Bay of Bengal onto the Marina Beach. And apart from that, as you can see, is evident in our visuals here, not just toxic foam. There are parts of garbage there. They're coming in here and being spitted out by the Bay of Bengal on the Marina Beach. 4 days ago, samples of this were taken away for further testing, but there has been no further update here on this. Let's in fact get in a word here. We have Mr. Nanbargal, environmentalist, with us over the phone line. Thank you for being with us, sir. In your view, should this be taken in a far more alarming rate by the government on why this is happening here?
Yeah, I think this has been every monsoon time, this is becoming a phenomenon, like the industrial waste and the sewage gets into the oceans. And due to a process called eutrophication, you get this foam that gets formed on the beach front. And also, this is a very, very man-made phenomena. If it is a natural phenomena where the single-cell algae releases proteins, the foam will disperse in an hour or two. But this is basically happening through a man-made, kind of a disaster. So this takes days and weeks. Because of this, you have the dissolved oxygen level in the oceans getting down, the fish species getting down, the marine wealth getting depleted. So this is becoming an every year phenomenon now. So I think during monsoon time, especially there are more rains, and the industrial and the other affluents get inside the ocean, this is being created. So I think we need to put our foot down and say that, whatever said and done, only the treated effluents can enter the rivers, and then the sea, not the untreated or the industrial waste should get inside the sea. This is high time that we do that.
That's right. And as you're indicating, the increasing frequency with which this is happening, and yet we don't have the government waking up to it yet, because it hasn't still adversely affected as far as the fishing season, the fishing produce here is concerned. But there would eventually be a point here where it affects the fishing industry now as well.
Yes, I mean, it is not only fishing industry. The people who consume this marine fishes, so their health also get affected. So also it is very, very very unfortunate that a city that has got a 1 crore population, supposed to be a metropolis city, supposed to be one of the largest cities in the country, doesn't have a full-fledged, sewage treatment facility, either for the industry or for the municipal waste. So,
Right.
you make the coastal communities which are already become vulnerable due to a lot of natural calamities, and their, near shore fishing is almost dead, inland fishing is almost dead, and the only option for them is available is the ocean fishing, and that also gets affected. Means you are completely depriving millions of people or moving millions of people out of their livelihood. So it is a very alarming situation that the governments must come and react to it.
Yes. Please stay on with us, Mr. Nanbargal. Let's also get in Ms. Sudha Ramalingam with us over the phone line. Ms. Ramalingam, thank you for being with us here. There is no word that is coming from the state government yet on how alarming this is, and there needs to be further work done as far as sewage treatment, garbage treatment plants here in the state are concerned.
Environment assessment has been a very, very slow process. It's not done at all with sincerity. And as far as the state goes, any transgression to the environment is not been taken seriously and not done at all. Pollution is something which seems to be very common, and when the sea emits so much of foam, it is something which is shocking. I'm definite it will be injurious to the health of people around the area, and also to the marine life in the sea itself. So something has to be done on a war footing.
Ms. Ramalingam, we've seen this a part of not exactly an infrastructural collapse in big cities here, but something which is harming our environment, eventually harming food consumption, eventually harming our health here as well. We've seen this happening in other big cities such as Mumbai as well. We see this happening on how garbage is spitted out by the Arabian Sea onto the Marine Drive. Does this give us a sense here that increasingly you have respective state governments not paying attention to issues pertaining to environment, which should now be seen as a crucial factor?
Absolutely. See, as far as waste disposal is concerned, especially in the through water bodies, is a very common feature. We have Buckingham Canal and Coombe and Adayar River running through the city of Madras, Chennai, and none of these have any potable water as on date, because they are all being polluted with untreated effluents being left into these water bodies. So what is happening is every water body, and all these water bodies go and end in the sea. So the water that is carried by these water bodies, which are left into the sea, are all polluted. And several crores of rupees are also going down the drain, with the state government and the municipalities and the corporations telling that they are doing a lot of work to ensure that such effluents are not, untreated effluents are not left into these water bodies.
Right. You don't see that happening by the respective state governments, in this case, of course, being Marina Beach in Tamil Nadu. Other breaking inputs here coming in. In fact, this is an update coming in from the state of Karnataka. This is regarding lakes now, polluted lakes in Bengaluru, and the NGT has once again stepped in, the National Green Tribunal, in slamming the Karnataka government here time and again for their failure to check pollution in Bengaluru's lakes. In the hearing, which was attended by top officials, which includes the civic body chief, the NGT has once again sought a comprehensive report from the state on cleaning of water bodies, what work has been done, which timelines, which deadlines, in fact, have been missed. Our correspondent Neha is getting us further inputs here on this. Neha, we've seen this time and again the NGT in continuously slamming, taking to task the concerned state government, in this case here being Karnataka. Successive state governments have been unable to follow the brief of the NGT and even meet deadlines of clearing up the lakes.
Well, Seher, that's right. This is not the first time that we're seeing how the state government has been pulled up or the civic body has been pulled up. This has been happening in the past multiple times for the non-maintenance of the three lakes in question here, the Belandur, the Vartur and the Agara lakes. Now, the entire reason, that the NGT is involved over here at this point in time is simply because the governments have failed, continuous governments, we're talking about consecutive governments that have failed to maintain the lakes. Belandur Lake was, one of the most toxic, most polluted lakes, that emanated a lot of foam also. Now, while we're talking about, the works here and why the government is being pulled up, let's quickly look at some of the, points that have actually been mentioned in this report, owing to which the government has been pulled up. First of all, there was supposed to be fencing that was supposed to, be done around the lakes to establish the lake bed and also, the lake and ensure that no dumping happens there. That brings me to the second point about the actual garbage dumping itself on the lake bed and the discharge of effluents by these industries and factories. That's also still continued. And third and most importantly, there was also supposed to be desilting and de-weeding also, Seher, that was supposed to be done on all of these, in all of these three lakes. But even that's not really, been done. So these are just, the top three things mentioned in this report. We'll have to wait and see, now that the government will have to submit a comprehensive report of exactly how much progress has come about. We'll have to wait and see what the NGT does.
Neha, thanks for getting us those details.